It's been 4 hours now since I've wandered through your place. And when I sleep on your couch, I feel very safe. And when you bring the blankets, I cover up my face. I do love you. I do love you. Tell me what you really like, baby.
Oh, but have you ever felt the same? Like looking at this girl